The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Well, good morning for many of you.
Good morning.
We normally aren't on this early. What is going on, Brigade? It is time for another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. We're live on our YouTube. We're live on Twitter. Replayed on SiriusXM and Sports Grid TV. Early than normal show today. Dave's got a doctor's appointment, so we're coming in early. This is like a test, though, Dave. See if the Brigade's awake. Who's going to be showing up today? Everyone's like, wait. The show's live?
Yeah.
We're good to go.
Yeah. Rubbing their eyes, hitting their thing. Wait, the bell's going off. They're getting, if you're already subscribed to the show, which if you're not, you should, @ Boston versus the Book on YouTube, you'll get an alert, a bell notification. It says, whoa, the boys are live. I got to get in there. I got to get in the chat. We got to get in there. We got stuff to say, people to see, things to do. Yeah. Doctor's appointment today. I couldn't change it. I called when they call you for the reminder, which, by the way, when you make these appointments a month in advance, 100 things that we got going on, you forget. Right. So I get the call. It says, the number. You're like, who is this? Hello? Calling to confirm your appointment Wednesday at 11 o'clock a.m. I'm like, Wednesday at 11 o'clock a.m.? What? I got a show to do. She's like, so are you coming or not? Like, can we move it back to 1? No. How about, can we move it up? Is there any availability? No. All right. I guess we got to move the show. But that's one of the beauties of the BVB. We can move. We can shuck. We can jive. We can pick up and go. We can reel in the brakes. We're here. We're doing it. By the way, can we tell the people we got the confirmation for the 21st and 22nd? Can we tell them?
Yeah, it's on the bottom line, so we can absolutely start the show with it. We had a really good meeting yesterday with our friends at Resorts World, so we don't have the codes as of yet, but we are going to have codes for you guys to register to come in and be a part of what's going to be the second ever BVB weekend. That would take place on the Thursday and Friday of the first weekend of March Madness, March 21st and 22nd. We're going to be not actually in the book. We're going to be in a dedicated space that will have all the games.
Yep.
That will have its own bar.
Yep.
It will have its own food.
Yep.
And maybe even its own betting station. They're still trying to figure out the logistics of doing that, but there may be a way of just betting on a kiosk. They may set that up for us.
Yep.
So hold on all the individual details. But if you want to start looking at flights, go ahead. You can do that. We will be live at Resorts World. Full information, most likely on Roll Call Friday. We'll have everything that we can put up and show you the code to use and how to register and everything else.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it very similarly to how we did it last time. So last time there were 2 shows without any set itinerary as to what to do. And Dave was right. I wanted to have something more structured. Dave was like, let them do what they want to do and they'll figure it out.
It's Vegas, baby.
And it turned out to be perfect because you guys got cabanas and you guys did a whole big thing, and it coincided.
Was legendary. That was fun.
It coincided with the Stanley Cup Finals, so it just all worked out. This will be March Madness, so the show will be later than normal. It's going to actually be a similar show. It's going to be BVB After Dark for the East Coast folks.
Prime time.
So we're going to have a full recap of all the games Thursday and Friday, because they want people to have a good time. They were like, look, you guys do it. Like right now it's 9 a.m. in the morning. No one's going to be drinking at 9 a.m. in the morning. It's Vegas, but not typical. So we're going to push it back. So we're going to do the show is most likely around 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. And you'll get a BVB full ramp of all the games that took place, a look at the night games, and then also a preview of the games the next day.
Oh, God.
So we'll have a lot to break down, a lot of interviews, a lot of fun stuff to be had. And then after the show is over, we're going to hang with you guys and we'll watch games on Thursday and Friday, and then probably into Saturday as well. I think, Dave, I think, I don't know this, but I think there's a good shot I'm going to stay Friday night.
Me too.
At Resorts World. Yeah,
Or
there's a good shot.
I was thinking both. I might stay Thursday and Friday.
I might do both. I may just do, I don't know. I may do one, but I'm definitely going to stay at least one night. I'm going to stay over. I was thinking stay over Friday just because it's easier. You know, I have to worry about my whole thing with it's the Daily Juice is the only hook of having to tape it. Where do I tape it? How do I post it? All that stuff.
Just run home, tape it, and come back.
That's a pain in the neck. But yes,
it ain't that bad. You just
stay at least once. I may stay twice. I don't know, but I always stay at least once. I'll stay at Resorts World. So we'll have a good time. We'll have a lot of time to hang out. Everyone's asking about the hats, Dave. I mean, we're talking like everyone is pushing when, how. We'll have an answer at some point very soon. Okay. We'll have
we had to get that locked down.
Yeah. So
that was our first order of business.
There may be
a home game for us.
And we may have other things available during the BVB weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know about Sunday, but I guarantee you will see my face on Saturday at Resorts World. So if you're coming into town, it's a 3-day, 2-night, 3-day event on Thursday, the 21st, Friday, the 22nd, Saturday, the 23rd for the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. Rates are going to be about 20% less if you go through our code. So stick around, hold on before
discount code. Yes.
Before you book anything at Resorts World, hold on. But you can start looking at flights to come on out for the second ever BVB weekend happening in March. And I mean, Resorts World loved what you guys did for the first, and that was with 2 weeks of lead up. Like we didn't talk about anything. We
had not even 2 weeks. We had a week of lead up, and then we did the show.
So now we have over a month to really get into. Actually, well, exactly a month because it'll be March 21st
from today.
So it'll be 1 month from today.
Tell them
we'll be with you guys.
We got an extra day because it's leap year.
It's great, and I'll be able to drink because I timed this out perfectly for the challenge I'm doing. So I'll be ready to go. We're going to end it with the Super Bowl, and in between Super Bowl and March Madness, we're getting this thing done, and then I'll be back on. So I'll be raring to go and excited to kind of hang out with you guys and have some fun. So this is going to be a blast. So if you have ever thought about coming to Vegas, you need a reason to come to Vegas. Come by yourself. You don't need to bring people. Okay, we're your people. If you got to come solo, come solo. Hang out with us. If you have nowhere, if you've always said, man, I want to go to Vegas for the March for the first weekend of the tournament. I want to see that madness. Okay, because it is madness here. This is your invitation. This is your chance to come on out and hang out with us Thursday, Friday, 21st, 22nd at Resorts World.
The best part about it is that you'll come, if it's for the first time, with a little local guy knowledge with me and Matt, a little sports book knowledge with me. We'll be able to get here early, get your app signed up. You'll have the stuff on your phone. You won't have to wait in the lines. You'll have a dedicated area to watch the games with us. The joint is called Red Tail.
Yep.
And it's off the corner, like around the corner from the actual place, the Nuts book, which we can walk over and go to and do stuff there as well, see everything. Resorts World's a great location to jettison around and see other places. You could do that.
I mean, Butchie, it's in March. On March 21st, the pools are open. It's going to be 85 degrees. You won't need a hoodie here.
Bro.
You won't need a hoodie here. It's
inside. You might need a hoodie because the AC will be kicking because the outside.
Yeah.
That's usually
we are 3 weeks.
That's the
Kickoff.
Chamber of Commerce week of weather.
Yeah.
Right. Like every year somehow, like Super Bowl came and it rained.
Yeah.
And F1 came and it rained. I've been here 21 years, and I ain't joking. I'm going to say out of the 21 years I've been here for March Madness, it's been sunny 20 of the years. Like watch the game, go outside, get blasted at the pool, come back in, bet another game, go outside. Like guys would come in torched because they ain't seen the sun in Iowa for 2 months, and they come out and it's 86 and clear blue skies, and they're sunburnt as could be, putting in their first to 15 bets. Listen, I used to do it myself before I moved here. We called it the Clown Fest because everybody was a clown. All of my Penn State boys and us, we used to meet up March Madness. We moved it to the second week because the first week, you kind of graduate from first week to second week.
Fair.
Well, we got a class of BVB 101. That's what we're doing. And everybody's coming. You ain't going to be by yourself. You can be by yourself if you'd like. You can hang out, trying to organize maybe a steak dinner or something otherwise like that. We got to get together and just go eat. We did that last time. Went to a food court. There's a tremendous food court at Resorts World.
Right across from the book, there's a gigantic one that's really cool.
You could go there and everybody can pick out what they want. We all put up 6 tables together and everybody just has a big meal, and it's not the last dinner, it's the first dinner. And it would be fun. So
Roger, there's only one Resorts World in Las Vegas. There are multiple Resorts Worlds in the country.
No. But there are 3 brands within the Resorts World.
Correct.
Here.
Yes. But only one property called Resorts World.
Right.
But you have 3 different brands. You have a Hilton, you have Conrad, and there's one other one.
And the other one.
I forget the other one. But there are 3 different operations going on that are there. So, yeah. I mean, so when you stay, you can pick which property inside of Resorts World you want to stay at. If you're like a Hilton Diamond Club member or whatever, or if you want to stay at the Conrad, it's up to you where you want to stay. But we will have codes that will take care of all 3. So that's going to be.
I don't know if they take care of the third one. The third one is that brand that they fly in people on the jets from.
Okay, so maybe the second, maybe 2 and 3.
Sneak them in the back, and they have their own private gaming, like entire room,
right?
And stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, we might have a Brigade member that would
wants that level
status, but I would bet no.
Yeah. So we'll have more info on all of that coming, but we wanted to confirm to you guys that yes. Today, Crockford's. Thank you very much. That's what that is, Jimmy Jack. You're right. Yeah, it's Crawford's. So that we are doing it. It is official. It's on the books. The live show will take place at Red Tail on Resorts World property on the main concourse. It's right by the district entrance. If you know the property off the strip, that's where it is. You walk from the district right in. We're right there.
You can stare at the actual first sphere, the first little sphere,
right
inside the building.
Yeah. So it's gonna be exciting. Yeah, Vinny, no worries, man. We'll bring you Vegas. We'll bring it to you. So don't stress.
Vinny, stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll bring it to you. Don't worry, because we're coming to the Midwest too. So
Midwest.
It's if we do 2024 right, there's going to be at least 2, if not 3 BVB trips out of Vegas where we're going to be coming to you guys. Yeah. So we have one that's we're pretty hopeful that's gonna happen. And then this fall, we hope to have a couple of them as well lined up. So once people start to see that we go on the road, people will start to go, wait, you can go on the road? I want that. Come here. And there's a bunch of different places that we'd like to hang out and go. So first is March. Second will be May. And then we'll see if we're in Phoenix for April, which is possible. We're trying to figure out if we're going to the Final Four or not. Yeah. So we'll do that. Before we get to what happened last night and why am I decked in all blue, you guys probably know. I just have to say something really fast at the top. It came out yesterday that the reason that the parade shooting happened was over a dirty look. Was over a dirty look.
I didn't. Even
We're
open
so
the store,
soft.
by the way. When you sent it to me, I didn't open the store. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
We're so soft. We have lost our way so amazingly as men and Americans that somebody looks at you the wrong way and you open fire. The woman that got killed will be buried in a Harrison Buckner jersey. She was a diehard Chief fan. She was so happy to be at that event. She was covering it for her radio station. She was 23 years old. You took her life because somebody looked at you the wrong way. I'm so mad at this. The story rocked me when we saw it. We were on the air when it was happening. We couldn't believe it. Reading the details of it sickened me. And the more that it gets reported on and the court documents come out and the police say the motive was a dirty look. Some guy looked at another guy. He said, "What the are you looking at?" And they pulled guns. Like, We're not in a movie, guys. This is
Complete
real life.
strangers?
Yes. Strangers didn't know each other.
No prior beef. They didn't know each other from
Not
Adam.
not at this time. What the police are reporting that it was not. It was just somebody looked at somebody else the wrong way.
Wow.
Somebody looked at somebody else the wrong way, and we opened fire. I don't understand. An argument. 4 males approached Lindell Mays. One of the males asked Lindell Mays, what was he looking at? Because they didn't know him. They began arguing about why they were staring at each other, and they pulled guns.
Wow.
I mean, like, half the people in the hospital are kids. Kids. Like, I don't care. You're a monster. Like, second-degree murder, 2 of the adults were charged, 2 juveniles were charged. Throw away the key. Like, get them out of society. You've lost your right to walk amongst normal people if this is what you're going to do. I don't get it. You can go every other angle you want to go with that. I don't need to get into it. I don't care about gun violence in young people. Or easy access to weapons, whatever. I don't care. Kids went to a parade. A 23-year-old woman is dead because somebody looked at another person the wrong way. I just don't know.
Can't make that make sense. Everything I do every day, I always go, how do I explain this to the kids? And when I say the kids, I mean a 7-year-old. Like, mine is now 10, yours is 9, but I always think of our daughters. And how do I explain this? When they ask, what happened? You go, well, a guy looked at another guy wrong and they pulled out guns and shot each other and all those people in between got hit. One person died. She's gone. Because they were mad at each other? I guess. Did they know each other? No. That's how we're settling things. Like, that's how we're like, look at each other wrong and keep walking. Like, I don't understand. You went with a purpose. You left the house that day
loaded up.
Intention, right?
Yeah. I mean, you brought.
I'm going to go shoot
arsenal.
Somebody today.
I'm bringing an arsenal with me to a parade.
Sad, man. It's to have that amount of, sorry, Will, non-give a shit about human life. I mean, how do you fit? You can't fix that. If someone's willing to do that, they didn't care about themselves when they left the house. They don't have no one in their life that cares about them because they don't care about anybody else. It's terrible. It's terrible.
How do you take your kid to an event nowadays? Like, how do I take my 9-year-old to anything like this?
I told you that was the first reaction that went on in this house was, Jess said out loud, I guess we're never going to another parade. We went to the Stanley Cup parade. It was unbelievably hot. It was unbearably crowded, and it was a little bit uncomfortable at a point, but we went and we had a great day. We look back at the pictures now. The girls each brought a friend. It was me and 7 girls, and I had a blast. I mean, it was hot as hell though, but they don't want to do that again. And I got to tell them, look, you can't change. They win if we don't do that. Right?
Fair. No,
they win.
That's why I brought Madeline to campus last week.
Right.
I didn't want to. I told you, she sat there in the car and asked me some really hard questions about, is it safe to go in here? And I was like, this is why we have to do this, because if I don't, a phobia is going to be creeping up.
Right.
And you're going to be afraid of college campuses subconsciously. Let's the law of averages state that this won't happen again. So let's just go ahead and go. And yes, you're absolutely right. We have to go to these events. We have to go to parades. But as a parent, you have that thing where we are hardwired to protect our children. Right. We will put our own bodies in front of anything to protect our children.
No question.
And it's the same thing that happened with the Boston Marathon bombing. Most of the people that got hit by the bomb in the Boston Marathon bombing were looking at the finish line. It happened behind them. The parents who lost their legs, the 10-year-old boy that was killed, he wasn't looking at the people who put that backpack down. They were looking at the finish line. The backpack was put behind them.
Right.
So this is going on. The kids are looking at, they're watching everything. Bang, bang, bangs going off behind them. They get hit before they even know what happened. Like you can't even, as a parent, you're like, I want to protect you. I can't protect you from things I don't even see. I don't know. I didn't know what's happening.
It shouldn't even have to occur to you to have to protect your kid at something like that. That's the sad part about it. And the guys in the chat, I mean, again, thank you for being here. And I know it's an early start. Crowds will coming in a little bit. Jeff Philnook just came in the chat and said, have a ticketed event in the stadium and fans can go through security. Everyone else can watch the ceremony on TV. It's a good idea. Actually, that's what the Penguins did after they won the first Stanley Cup. They had a big parade. Wow. And it was, I mean, the whole city showed up. It was the first one. You remember the first one. Again,
isn't the parade the idea of being on the city street to be, people hanging out of buildings and hanging out of windows and
was awesome. But the second one, they needed it a little more controlled. It was rainy, terrible, bad weather. So they did it at Three Rivers Stadium and had everybody come in, which was different, but just as fun. It was a celebration, and it led out to they went out to the point and did that. There's a way to be done, but the fact that we have to think about it, it's really just terrible.
So sorry, I just had to talk at the top of this.
Yeah, get it out. Listen, that's what we do here. Get it out.
I'm so fumingly mad and furious about what happened. But on a much happier note, at least from my people, here we go. Last night, the Creighton Blue Jays, quote, we ran into a buzzsaw.
Wow.
Jays take down the number one team in the country for the first time in school history. First time I can remember a court storm. At least it was the biggest one that I can remember for the Creighton Blue Jays, who just absolutely took apart Dan Hurley's team. And Dan Hurley's going to be in some hot water today. We can't play the video because I don't have access to it yet. I thought about playing it and I was like, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But Dan Hurley's walking off the court and he's caught threatening a student. Okay. The head coach at UConn threatened.
What was said to him?
I'll knock your head off.
No, what was said to him?
Don't know. But as a head basketball coach on the road and your team gets destroyed, walk off the court, man. Walk off the court.
Yeah.
Like, just walk off the court.
That's easy until they tell you to go.
I'm sure there's more than that. I mean, Omaha people, I told you, it's 19,000 drunk people.
Liquored up.
Beyond belief.
Something was said that shouldn't have been said, one.
100%.
Two, that would have never been said that he was close to him.
He was close to him. Oh, he was close enough to touch him. Hurley could have touched him.
No, he wasn't. I watched the video. He was
right there.
Somebody up in the stands. It wasn't. Hurley was on the floor. The guy was in the stands.
Right. But he was close enough.
100 people in between him. I mean, he ain't going up in the stands.
No, that's
and
true.
The guy knows. No.
Yeah,
the guy's talking a lot of shit. So
Hurley's
forget about Hurley
guy.
getting in trouble. I'm not defending him. Put your head down and walk off. But
yes,
people are real brave.
Of course,
say a lot of stuff.
But you pay your ticket for that price. You buy a ticket for the right to do that.
Just because you buy a ticket don't mean you get to say whatever you want. And all Hurley did was look up and mouth it to him. It's not making a bigger deal than it is.
It was a student, by the way. This is right.
Yeah, real right. Brave. Shut your mouth.
Oh, I have no problem.
Win with grace.
Win with grace.
Yeah.
It's not a Creighton basketball player that did it. It's a fan.
Right.
Fans. This is what fans do.
You didn't do anything.
You don't think Steeler fans talk trash to people walking off the court?
And he looked up, I mean, if a student said that to a teacher, what would you say?
I don't know. I'm not paying to go to a basketball game.
So you pay, you can say whatever you want. The guy has to just sit there and take it?
Yes. As a coach?
He can't mouth something back up?
You can't threaten him. You can look at him and get him ejected. You can call Creighton if you want.
He walked off the court. He didn't even break pace.
Yeah, no, he stopped. He stopped and looked at him and pointed at him.
He didn't stop. He looked up as he was walking and said it. I watched the video this morning. No. I was going to post it.
I love this. It shows you, as I told you yesterday, Coach Mack owns Hurley. He lost last time in stores. They killed him. And I was like, you know what? I was like, Mac does not lose to Hurley often. It's just something about the way these teams play. It was not an easy bet to make, but you could see it. They beat Marquette by 28 points. and then they had to fly to Siberia. Okay. If you're an East Coast kid, you're flying to Omaha, Nebraska. It's so cold. You get off the plane. You're like, where the hell am I? Why am I playing basketball here? And you walk into a 19,000 screaming venue that people have been drinking. Literally, people were drinking the entire afternoon getting ready for it. I mean, that was the basketball game of the year, and the Jays couldn't miss. I mean, they started off slow, and they couldn't miss.
I was so impressed with, and I was on Sports Grid with Wetzel, and we talked about this game and his Black Cloud play of the night, which is the can't lose. Why is this line this? Was UConn. And I laughed. I said, it's dead. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, you find these ones and it's probably dead. So we're watching a game. Not only were they knocking down the threes, and when they knock down threes, they could beat anybody in the country on any night.
Correct.
There's no question.
Agreed.
They were getting open looks, P-Roll. They were open looks. And 55 wasn't even a factor. It didn't even need to be hit. It was everybody else. I forget the kid's name. He averaged 2 points a game. He had 10.
Jason Green. Yeah. I mean, the kid, he hit 2 threes, first 2 threes of the year. I mean, when those things are going in, yeah. I mean, it was just their night. Like, you just tip the cap and go, it's your night, because you got that kid coming off the bench who doesn't hit threes. He hit 2 of them. Ashworth couldn't miss. I'll take all the slander. Anybody from Creighton wants to hammer me for my comments about Stephen Ashworth, go ahead, because I watched him all of the year going, they're in trouble. Point guard play is a big problem. He can't guard. If he's not hitting shots, he hit everything.
He played great.
He was unbelievable. He's played great.
That was his best game.
Yeah, 6 games in a row, though. That was his pinnacle game, but he's been playing very well over the last 6 games for the Jays. And really, he had to be great because he mentioned Baylor Shireman did nothing in the first half. I think he wound up with like 8 points overall. He was nothing, but this is a good point by Mike. You want to know why the Jays were so pissed off? I mean, I'm personally, I love this, but this is what happens when, social media managers get going here and they post things. Hold on, let me pull that down. This is the first. The first is sorry. So the first tweet back on the 17th of January, Huskies win, and they put up corn for win. Jays fired back last night, harvested a win. Jays win, and I don't know if you can read it, but he said, "Take an ear of corn on the way out."
Oh boy!
So this is when social media managers go back and forth. I'm here for this rivalry, man. Because as everybody knows, F UConn to me. I am all in on this. This is perfect for me. This wasn't even planned. But the Creighton Blue Jays have a rivalry with the UConn Huskies. Didn't see it coming, but I am 100% here for it. My other team, my alma mater, couldn't get into it because they wouldn't play them. So now they playing each other in the same conference, and the Jays get the first win in school history against a number 1 team. Hurley ripped his players in the post-game press conference. I was shocked.
That's exactly what UConn needed. They
Agreed.
needed an ass whooping, and they got it. I mean,
this stat
how do you say the big kid's name? Kalkbrenner?
Kalkbrenner, yep. Mm-hmm.
He looked more forceful. He looked more confident on the defensive end.
Agreed.
That's where he is. Swatting guys.
Yeah.
19 straight road losses.
The last time UConn won a game against a ranked team on the road was 2014. They've lost 19 straight road games against ranked opponents.
That's a weird stat.
And the crazy thing about that is they've won 2 national championships.
I was going to say they have 2 national championships
in that time.
Those road wins don't count as.
It don't matter. Well, you play neutral. You don't play on the road in the tournament, so it doesn't matter. I mean, but it's just a remarkable thing that shows you how hard it is to win on the road in college basketball, just generationally, not just this year, but almost every year. And UConn just has a really tough time. 19 straight losses against a ranked opponent is, whew.
They got to play the rest of their schedule. I went through it. They're going to be favored in every game. The second to last game of the season for UConn is at Marquette.
Jimmy Jack, what are you talking about? Like, you're making ridiculous comments. Like, what do you mean they're going to play? They've played that way this year before. Like, go through it, okay? The Jays, every loss they've had is by a combined 28 points. They can play that well. It's the difference is that UConn had zero interest in that game. That's why.
Oh, I don't think they had, I think they had all interest. I totally disagree with that. They couldn't do anything. Creighton played defensively a championship game.
Agreed, but the Jays held them to 62 points in stores. They just missed everything and lost 62-48. So I thought the game, if they held them under 70, the Jays were going to win. I didn't think they score 85. That was I was like, holy crap. That was the difference, is that they hit everything.
Yeah.
And UConn's defensive effort was completely lackluster. I mean, to a man, they looked in the second half defeated. I thought UConn was going to come out. I bet 8 in game. I'm like, okay, Hurley's going to get in their butt at halftime. They're going to come out with fire, and they're going to make this a game. I thought the Jays would still win, but I thought it would be close. Exact opposite happened.
The second half start was perfect for Creighton. They came out, hit a 3, stopped, hit another 3. It was like, whoa. They just expanded this lead 6, and then it went from there. UConn got it down to 8 at the end, and then would it finish 15? They lost.
Yeah, see you later. It's awesome too, because this is something I learned about the Midwest. If you're an East Coast person and you bring up corn to folks in the Midwest, it pisses them off if they live in a metropolitan area.
Oh,
like
yeah.
If you live in Indianapolis, if you live in Omaha, if you live in Milwaukee, if you live in Kansas City, and you're an East Coast person and you reference corn and you talk about cornfields and talk about tumbleweeds and whatnot, it pisses them off. Like they get really, really sensitive to it. And they're like, hey man, we got everything you got. Don't you dare make that good. So that when UConn did that really pissed off a lot of people, and it's good. I mean, this is UConn against Creighton in the Big East championship game would be money if it happened in New York.
In the Big East championship.
Yeah, if they play each other. We'll see what they wind up going. UConn's going to win the division, win the conference. So they'll be the 1 seed. We'll see where the Jays wind up. Got a bunch of games left to figure out who's going to be the 2, 3, 4. But if they could play each other in the Big East final in New York City, because the Jays, their fans travel to New York. They love to go because they started going to St. Louis at times.
Fans don't handicap the game.
No, but what I mean is normally UConn
matters.
No, it does matter because UConn normally has a very large home court advantage in New York. When they play in MSG, it's almost always heavily UConn. And in the Big East tournament, you will see a lot. I mean, thousands of Creighton fans will be in New York for that event. And it'll be fun. It'll be a really fun final if it's UConn against Creighton for the Big East championship.
I'd be interested to see between those two, Marquette. The Big East is going to be a very entertaining trip in New York. It's going to be that's going to be fun. The futures didn't move much.
40-1. That's our book still.
Yeah,
which is not completely shocking, but somewhat shocking. But it's a home win, so it's not like it's you go there and win. If they beat UConn like that at UConn, maybe it might have moved some stuff. But
definitely. Well, I mean, I don't even know. It moved a little bit, but I wouldn't move it. Played a perfect game. It was that is exactly what you needed to see. If you like Creighton, if you back Creighton, if you have a future ticket on Creighton, that one's in the back pocket. They can pull that one out when they need to, and have one of those nights in a big spot. They can get to the Final Four. That would be.
Well, they were 1 possession from it last year.
I know.
So we made the Elite 8 last year. Draw matters. Who they play matters. And look, when you are getting 39% of your points from behind the 3-point line, if you have an off night, you can get bounced by anybody in the tournament. Right. Like anybody. I mean, you can get beat by a 15 seed if you're not careful. Yeah. So it is a make or miss game, but the Jays are a make or miss team. And that was the A side. We've seen games where it's been the F side, and it was against UConn where they couldn't hit anything and scored 48 points. They scored more. So they scored 45 points in the first half against UConn last night. They scored 48 points for the game
in stores.
Yeah. So to give you an idea of just how prolific the first half was for the Jays, and just, the effort for UConn defensively just really wasn't there. But then this thing came out after the game, which was tremendous because you commented, Jeffrey Benson commented, and this came out from some guy named Wes Rucker saying Vegas knew the line tonight. It almost always knows. I thought it was too low. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And everyone came.
Thanks, Wes.
With Vegas knew. Did Vegas know that Iowa was going to be a 9-point dog at Michigan State last night and win outright? Kind of a bad number, no?
No, I don't think so. No,
I don't know. They thought Michigan
so.
State was going to kill Iowa, and they lost outright. So,
Yeah.
did Vegas know?
No.
When did Vegas find out?
I'm trying to figure out. I mean, let's like when we were at the Super Bowl, I said to Jack, I said, I'm gonna look right at the camera, Jack, put me on the ISO. Here we go. I don't know if you can put me on an ISO right now. I'm gonna look you right in the eyes and say, nobody knows shit. Okay. Period. Especially Vegas. All right. Because for 3 weeks in a row. Well, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 3 weeks in a row in the playoffs with the biggest handle in the biggest handle sport. Vegas had Patrick Mahomes as a dog at Buffalo. How'd that work out? You know shit then. Second chance. Let's go to Baltimore. Let's make the line bigger. Don't worry about it. Vegas knows. Oh, wait a second. Chiefs won again? They're going to the Super Bowl. Maybe, if you know, you don't know. San Francisco's favorite in the Super Bowl. And all the people flew in, the bags, the helicopters, all that sharp money came in. They knew. We knew. Talked about it. San Francisco. They're going to win. San Francisco's favorite. Guys like Sean Perry at Circa bet $1 million. $1 million on San Francisco. Got to play the games, boys and girls. The line is a line for a reason. Afterward, you go, oh, Vegas knows. Vegas does know. Nightclubs and great food options, not who's going to win the games. Thank you, one-star Goroff. Thank you. Please, calm down. Stop saying Vegas knows. Please, you sound silly when you say it. That's all I'm saying. Stop saying it.
It's a way of excusing your bad bet because, look, I don't believe in bet percentages. I don't believe in bet, money's here, money's there. But if if everyone's saying the same thing, I tend to believe it. Every book was saying that 90% of the bets and money were on UConn last night.
Of course.
Everybody was on UConn. So the way you excuse that you ran with the Buffaloes off the cliff is by saying, oh, well, Vegas, it was a trap. Yeah, Vegas laid the trap.
Oh, the trap.
Yeah, the trap number. They laid that sneakily. UConn coming off of a major win. It's fun when I remember when I got into space and I remember talking to people and I was betting I started betting every day, almost 4 years ago now. And people were saying to me, like, once you get into this, you start to see patterns. Now, the pattern doesn't always hold, but you start to see patterns. And the more that a team gets publicized, the more the team gets talked about, and the more people start to talk about them as, remember yesterday, front page of ESPN.com, would you take UConn or the field to win the national championship?
Yes.
That was on the front page of ESPN.com. So you're talking, every day people are going to that website and they're reading headlines and they see that headline front and center and they're like, UConn's only a 2-point favorite on the road?
Yep.
The best team in college basketball. Creighton Blue Jays haven't been good at all. They've lost games that they really shouldn't have lost. Give me UConn. Oh, God, they're going to kill them.
You know what I didn't realize is like how not jaded or slanted but how much UConn and ESPN are really right like this lockstep to get like
they're like stores in Bristol are like I think it's like 30 minutes apart.
Neighbors.
Yeah, it's really close.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There within that campus and stuff.
That worked there. Oh yeah, went to school at UConn and went to work at Bristol. Oh yeah. 100%. Oh, and UConn's good. They love talking up UConn. 100%.
Oh my Lord.
Yes. 100%. It's just again, there's just certain things there's patterns you start to see. And Dan Hurley has a tough time beating Coach McDermott. And, he was walking into a really tough environment.
I don't know who would have beat Creighton last night. I don't know if there was a team that would have beat Creighton last night the way played. They played
Arizona. I think a team like Arizona who could run with them and get to the rim. They couldn't get to the rim last night. Kalkbrenner just stopped everything. I mean,
he was
an eraser.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. And so you had to hit threes. They weren't hitting threes or get out to get him tired to run him up and down the court. And that didn't happen. So you were, two-time defensive player of the year in the Big East, Ryan Kalkbrenner, in the paint, stopping every rim run that you have until you have to shoot jump shots.
Authority. I mean, they were trying to take it to the hoop, and he was ripping it off the top of their hand and kicking it out for an odd man rush down the other side and open look three, and they were making it.
He's 7'1". He's a legitimate 7'1". And this is where Coach Mack is a big man coach.
He didn't play like that when we were 5 feet from him.
Oh no,
he played soft as can be. He played in front of us, made me think this guy ain't even going to make it in the league.
He's soft. He can play soft though. I mean, that was the thing. I mean, I showed you I was texting with people last night. I showed you one of the text messages going, how the hell did this team lose to UNLV?
Oh my God.
It's a great question. It's a great question. How did Creighton lose to UNLV that badly? It's college basketball, right? It's the thing that doesn't make any sense. It's why you can't do like this team beat this team to get to this. 2 + 2 does not equal 4 in college basketball.
Hell, you're not good at the math, but this math doesn't add up. We saw them lose as a double-digit favorite here at the Dollar Loan Center, which wasn't even UNLV's home court. Then they go and get destroyed at Stores, lose by over 20.
No, it was 12, but they were down by 20.
Well, they were down.
Lost by 14.
12. I thought it was 22. Okay.
60. It was 62-48 the final.
Okay, so they lose by 14 there.
Yeah.
And then come home and win by that amount.
Right.
Tell me how to handicap this stuff is really interesting. Vegas, just put up the number, take the bets. Good luck.
Who's not a sleeper? The Jays? No, the Jays were never really a sleeper. I mean, I wouldn't say that. They're ever a sleeper, but I think you're right about that. I think a lot of people have forgot the Jays made the Elite Eight last year. Yes, I do think that's true.
It gave them reason to forget with the beginning of the season.
Fair. I absolutely. Will Kalkbrenner be a first rounder? I don't think so. No, I think he's a G League prospect. I don't think I think he's a guy because of the way the NBA is playing right now. If you're not a 7-footer who can shoot threes consistently, you're not really on the floor. So he's not Porzingis. He can protect the rim, but that's not enough in the NBA. It's great in Europe. He'll make a ton of money overseas. I just don't think he might get picked in the second round. I'd say maybe. He's a project. If you draft him, he's a project and probably a pretty long-term project.
7'1". I mean, you gotta get an opportunity somewhere, no?
Maybe. I mean, he's 7'1" who can run. I mean, that's the thing. But no one in the NBA for 7-footers plays back to the basket. He's put on a lot of muscle over the years, but he's still not that strong.
Right.
He's not going to
look great last night.
Can you imagine but can you imagine guarding Embiid? Think about that. Would you put Ryan Kalkbrenner
not right now?
I mean, I don't know if I could do it ever. I don't think he's got that type of ability to do that.
So young.
He does in the face because he is young. He's 20, 21.
I know, but I mean, when we saw him in person, I was like, this kid is. Nothing looks
correct.
Right.
He's not one of those guys that you look at and you're like, damn, that's a mean player. You're
no,
scared. No, he's not even. No,
played with an edge last night though. I was so
he does, and he can do that when he gets pissed off. He can play with an edge, or if he gets
great,
or if I've seen Mac challenge him, and when Mac really, and I guarantee you, all week leading up to that game in practice, Mac challenged him, saying, "This is your game. You must be the best player on the floor."
Right.
And at least defensively. And he was unbelievable. And then Ashford when he hit that three from 10 feet behind the 3-point line, I was like, all right, it's their night. It's there. They're hitting that shot. That's just where you put your hands up and go, tip your hat. You guys win.
There was no doubt. And when I'm on the air on Sports Grid, I can't have the audio on. So I didn't hear it, but I could see it.
Yeah.
And then on breaks, I would turn the audio on. And you could hear the crowd was like a first. It was, I mean, they were geeked up to start, but as that started rolling in the first half, each three got louder, and then
it's a crush
I was
of
on the
sound.
phone with you towards the end of the game after I got off the air, and you're like, they never stormed the court.
Now on the broadcast, they mentioned 2 times that in 2020 that it happened pre-COVID, like right before the COVID year. And they went to because the Jays were the last game to play. For you guys remember, the last college basketball game to play before COVID shut the world down was the Creighton game in the Big East tournament. They were at halftime. They're losing at halftime. I was on the Jays. They're losing at halftime. And they said that's when the positive test came out for Rudy Gobert. And they said, stop. We're not playing this. Go home. Everyone leave. And they sent everybody home.
Yeah.
So I guess it happened. I guess it happened that season. I don't remember it. And then I guess it happened in 2012. They said during a bracket buster game. And I do remember the bracket buster, but I don't remember the court storm. So I've been covering them since 2005.
2012, you were still there, right?
I was. I wasn't there. I was actually back in Boston, but I was running the rival site. So I was back home in Boston, but I was still doing rivals. I was still coming out here to Vegas to either do recruiting and whatnot. Okay. So it was, I still was very attached to the program.
Right.
But I don't remember the court storm. That will be, I've told I got 2 guys who shoot pictures. It's like someone's got to get me a wide angle shot of that court storm. Like I need that in my house. I need
those guys were organizing. They were trying to get down, and everybody was. I was like, "Oh, here they go."
I mean, I need a big F UConn right on my right across the front of it with a court storm and the score. I want to design this myself.
Oh man!
I want to frame it and put it in my house and go. That is the first ever victory over a number one ranked team, and it happened to be UConn. That is a chef's kiss. That is the universe raining prosperity down on me for right now for that. It was so fun. And I'm just happy for Coach Mack. I'm happy for Coach Mack. I'm happy for, people were that UNLV loss stung. I mean, people were really concerned about what the season was going to look like. They come out here, they laid a massive egg. They weren't physical. They got pushed around.
But you remember how cool Coach Mack was after the game?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knew to not ask him really much questions because there was nothing to say. It was just a stinker.
Yeah.
And, he said, we didn't play good. Like it was so the perception outside of that game was probably one thing, but I mean, being there 5 feet from the bench, which was awesome. We sat right next to their bench. We went in and listened to him to answer 2 or 3 questions and fist bump you on the way out and see you later. He was so calm. I'm like, I got it. Like he's great.
And last night, his post-game press conference, post-game comment to the team, they put it out on Creighton social media. He had 2 former players, one kid named Marcus Foster in the locker room who had come back to be a part of it. And he pointed back there and said, you guys have built onto what these 2 guys and others laid the foundation for us to get here. This was a transfer. This was a generational win, but it was done thanks to the hard work done by the previous guys who came in.
Right.
I interviewed Marcus Foster here in Vegas in 2013, in the summer of 2013. I was like, wow, Marcus Foster. It was one of the first videos I'd ever shot for my rival site was with Marcus Foster. It was just a weird moment for me, like total, like come full circle 11 years after I interviewed him here in Vegas.
Right.
He's in the Creighton locker room after a number 1 team goes down in Omaha for the first time in school history. And I'm living in Vegas. I'm now sitting here in the city in which I interviewed him. So just a weird, wild, universe thing. I sent the video to Coach Mack and I was like, this is 2013. This feels like a lifetime ago that this happened, but it was really cool to see Marcus Foster in the locker room. And Coach Mack is that type of guy. He's an incredible leader of men. And look, his son's in the NBA. His son's been in the NBA for a long time. His son was, one of the greatest college basketball players to ever play and the guy that no one saw coming. No one even recruited him. And Doug McDermott went down as one of the greatest college players to ever play the game, which is still crazy to say, but it's true. And Doug helped the Jays become a legitimate Power 5, whatever we're going to call the Big East. I mean, Power 5 is a football term, but the Jays were going from the Valley into the Big East.
Right.
Big jump.
Yeah.
It could have gone south. It could have gone recruiting, could have gone down the toilet. And instead, they made multiple runs in the NCAA tournament and lost to Duke and lost to North Carolina. But they proved that they belonged as a program.
Definitely.
In the Big East. And last night's win, I guarantee you, Bruce Rasmussen, the former athletic director, the guy who hired Coach Mack, was sitting back and smiling, going, that's what we knew would happen. We knew we'd get to that point.
It's fantastic when you get to that point. Like, and it's, there's a lot of work to be done, but that was a big step in, like,
it's one win, though. I mean, people are saying in the chat, people said to me, say it's one win. You're absolutely right. And I give credit to Baylor Shireman. That's exactly what Baylor said after the game. He said, look, it's one win. Okay. This is unbelievable, but like, we didn't win anything. Like, we beat the number one team for the first time ever, but like, the goals for the team are now they've been raised, but they got a lot left to do. Like, the year is not over yet by any means. They can't go back out next week, next game on Sunday and get killed.
No,
they got to play. They got to be good again. So
that's the letdown spot. There was a couple other letdown spots, maybe in college basketball last night with ranked teams losing on the road. Take much from either one of those?
Not really. I mean, I think I learned more about BYU and their win over Baylor than I did about Baylor losing. I mean, I was on both BYU and Utah State, but Utah State now they're not ranked, but they're in first in the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah,
a conference that could get 5 teams in the dance.
They said on the broadcast 6.
Okay, make it 6.
6 teams right now. Some Nevada's have them in.
Nevada's the swing, right? Yeah. They're bubble, big time bubble, but Nevada plays their way in. They get 6 teams in. The ACC may only have 4. Mountain West Conference may have 2 more teams than the ACC get into the tournament. It's been a banner year for the Mountain West Conference. I mean, I am 100% going to the Mountain West Conference tournament here in town. Like, I can't wait to watch that get played at Thomas and Mack. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah,
wars
that week. They're like, we're going to be able to stealth. I can't wait. I'm going to do what I did last year. I'm going to go to a bunch of games. Kylie's not here to go with me, so as long as problem is sometimes those games start late and it's a school night. We can't take the kids, but that's fine. We'll just go,
right.
Hopefully Blewett shows up again. We'll zip around, go to a couple games. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, Jada, good point. Baylor's got Houston on Saturday. It may have been a look-ahead spot. Yeah, I faded Baylor, but yeah, they got a huge game against Houston coming up this weekend. So, and yes, this is 100% true. Anything this year. I mean, anything can happen this year. It's going to be awesome.
Nikki.
It's going to be awesome. This is going to be so fun. This March Madness. I can't wait. All right, let's go to the college football story of the day. 5-7 model was approved unanimously last night.
Yep.
You good with it? Top 5 conference champions as they are ranked by the playoff committee, they are automatically in. The other 7 get at-large bids.
Yeah. It is what it is, right? You're
a Big Ten guy, so I'm waiting for the Big Ten answer of the SEC Invitational, because we're already seeing this saying it's going to be the SEC Invitational.
It was always going to be. It's fine. It's fine. It's nothing is surprising about any of this. Is it? Like, this is what they said they were going to do. They went away from the 6-6.
Well, that's because the Pac-12
7.
In fact, the Pac-12 screwed that up. Like,
right,
they were going to have 6-6, but then the Pac-12 did what they did, just had to kill their conference. So, kind of left them. You can't have Oregon State.
What happens when the ACC kills its conference? While we're doing this,
it's fair.
Rid of that, and then, I mean, it's all changing. The ability to accept change or just roll with it is one of the keys to life. This is one of the ones. I mean, college football is going to be very different. We're going to have home game playoff games.
I love it.
Awesome.
I love.
Love.
It's going to be outstanding.
I can't wait to have, like, if Penn State hosts a home playoff game in late December or January, it's going to be absolutely freezing.
Especially if you get a warm weather school to go up there, right? Like, imagine like Penn State whiteout in a blizzard gets dropped on an SEC school.
Right. And here comes LSU.
Right.
Come on up, boys.
Florida, LSU.
Right. We'll pick you up at the airport with the vans. Just make sure the heater's on, because once you get out, ain't gonna be no heat. I mean, those are going to be fun games. That is going to be great. the calendar for sports is changing forever.
January is going to be crazy.
We used to like kind of ease like down in December, right? We're just, the conference championships game happened. We sit for a week, nothing happens. We start with those crap bowl games, nothing happens. And we build up to New Year's Eve in the playoff games and the other bowl games. Now, everything's ramping up. The NFL season is going down at the end, and college football is going until late January.
January 20th, I believe the title game is next year.
Yeah, we're going to have to schedule vacation in February next year or something after the Super Bowl. It's going to be exhausting, but fun.
Oh,
for content, for books, the whole thing's going to change. December's a down month, right?
Not anymore.
Hell no.
Not anymore.
And the January numbers are going to be changed forever. I can't wait till all these, reports come out about handles up in January compared to last year. Oh,
it's going to be way up.
Playing more meaningful football games.
Yeah. What do you think the handle is going to be like in comparison to a divisional playoff game for a college football playoff game?
Oh, it's going to be got to be competitive.
Okay.
Alabama against Liberty laying 27. That ain't going to, that's nothing. But give me a meaningful playoff game like we had this year. Those two games we had, Alabama, Michigan, and Washington, Texas, gigantic handle. Monster, gargantuan. We get that 3 times.
Well, that's what I mean. I think I think because we have an extra game, I think we have an extra time to watch. So I wonder if the national championship handle, it's always gigantic, but I just wonder if more casual people get involved in December and January because the lead up is going to be different. Like we normally have semifinal games 2, wait a week, play 1. Now we're playing 4, 4, 2, 1. Like now we're playing a lot of games here. If someone gets hot, you could have 4 games the team's going to play to get to the championship.
The little guy has no shot.
Not in football, but you know what, though? We talked about this. The Patriots went on the road. They got killed against the Bears when they got there, but they were the first team to win 3 road playoff games, and they got to the championship game.
Steelers won it. They won a Super Bowl that way. They went on the road, and they started in Denver and won 3 road
I know it's
games
not apples to apples because it's college football, but like if you are a
close.
team,
they don't
think
have
about it, though.
Nearly the depth, P-Roll. There's no chance if a team pulls a big upset in the first round.
Yeah.
There's no way they're winning the second one and definitely not winning the third one. They just won't do it.
I don't know. Second one, I'll push back. Third one, you're probably right. But the second one, I don't know. Because hypothetically, like say you're the 9 seed, right? And you're an underachieving SEC school. Like say you're like Missouri and everything comes together for those games. You were kind of kicking and scuffling, and all of a sudden for a month, everything goes your way and you lock in. Like we're going to see those types of teams. Like we're going to see maybe not brand names, but like good football teams in power conferences that are middle of the pack or top tier, top 4, Big 10, SEC, Big 12, like an Iowa State. Like an Iowa State could go win 3 games on the road. They could. I mean, teams like that have good coaching when they had Brock Purdy or a player like Brock Purdy. You've got like borderline NFL talent, and you go and you get every break. You just go on the road, and the biggest problem is going to be if you're talking like a Mountain West Conference team, like a Boise State or like a San Diego State or something like that. They've got no shot. Like I'm with you there. They have no shot to go win 3 road games in a row.
I don't think so.
Well, I guess it's 1 road and then neutral. No, 1 road, 2 road, and then
1 road,
2 road. 2 road, right?
First round only. Semifinals. So they go from 4 with a bye.
Yeah.
And 8 play. And then there's 8 left, and they start playing at the bowl games. And then they play 4 left.
So there's 7 neutral site games. I thought there were only 3 neutral site games.
Not now. There's a whole nother round. Yeah.
Are you sure? I think the second round is still like, if you're a top team, you still play a home game. Like if you're the 1 seed, right? You get a bye. You play at home the next game. A team's already played, but you get a home game, and then you go play the 2-1 neutral.
Wow.
I think that chat pull that if you could, because I think that's what happens. Because you're going to get because you win your conference, you get a home game. There's 12 teams, 4 teams with buys. You play 8 where the lower seed has a home game. Right. And then the 4 teams with buys are all conference champions. They get a home game.
Oh God. So you get two weeks of home environments.
Yes. And then we go to neutral for the semifinal final.
Wow. I guess they found the money and the time for the kids to travel. The NCAA is so full of shit.
Of course.
I mean,
but the Big Ten and the SEC are doing this like collab where they're coming together and they're asking for all these big demands, saying like, we want this because we have the money, we have the eyeballs, we have everything that we want right now. So we'll walk unless you give it to us. It's funny because the Big Ten knows that the SEC is going to get preferential treatment from the committee. And so they're having all these like, we're in bed with you, but only for right now, because eventually we're going to get pissed off because like it's going to be Ohio State and Michigan every year. And then Penn State's going to get left out. And people are going to be like, that's a joke. Or Iowa's going to get left out. And they're going to get all ticked off. And 5 SEC teams are going to get in and 2 Big Ten teams are going to get in.
What happens to the other bowl games now?
Well, that's the thing. They want contraction. They want them to go away.
Well, does the Duke's Mayo Bowl want to go away?
No, of course they don't. But how many conferences are going to have enough teams? Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on. I think Dave, quarterfinals and semifinals are at the New Year's 6 bowl sites. Okay. So you're right. I'm wrong. So you don't get, so if you're a 1 seed, you don't get a home game.
You get a bye. It's more important. Yeah.
Wow.
You get to go play 2 nice places bowl games.
Yeah, J-Dow. So if you're a top 4 seed, you get a bye and no home field advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would piss me off. That's a lot of money, man. If you're Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan,
you still get the money. You get a trip out of it.
Yeah, but you don't get the money that comes from parking, from some concessions, from hotels. You don't get the same a home playoff game.
You get paid without having to put that on.
How about that?
You pay to go to the game.
So the quarterfinals are neutral. You're going to ask teams, their fans, to travel 3 times
to the championship. If you go on that ride, 3 trips.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like a mistake.
How do you pick your game?
So that was just to placate the New Year's 6 bowl games when they were worried about getting left out.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of business going on. And NCAA is completely full of shit. They didn't have money before. Now they're going to do this. I mean, stop. But I'm genuinely concerned about
just to be accurate, the NCAA does not run the college football playoffs.
Well, the college football playoffs, they're full of shit.
Yeah,
whatever it is,
it's different.
But everybody's got all the money. When they tell you they don't have the money, they just don't have the money for you. They got the money for what they want. So they got this set up. Duke's Mayo Bowl. More people know about Duke's Mayo from that bowl game than any advertisement they ever did in their life.
Have you ever had Duke's Mayo, by the way?
I hate mayonnaise.
Oh, I like mayo. It's different. It's different to the mayo. It's spicier. It's got a kick to it. Southern kick to it. Yeah. That's why it's a Southern thing.
I have to try it. And if it's got a little,
well, if you don't like mayo, you're not going to like it though. It's still the consistency of mayonnaise. It's still, it's still there. Wow. But I thought it went 2-1.
No.
It changes my opinion a little bit.
You don't like it as much?
No, I don't like it as much because I was looking forward to the top 4 seeds having home field because I thought it would be a much more fun game to bet. On a neutral field, that feels a little bit more Oh,
what do you mean? I love that.
I think it's more likely for an upset to happen in the quarterfinals on a neutral. I don't like that.
Great for the books.
Yeah, fine. I don't like
Great for the books.
I don't like that. I want a money line parlay all 4 top seeds.
Hell no. Not that week, son.
It's a lot easier. So, yeah, it's look, a Power 5 team that is on a neutral, the 4 seed, I'd be wary. Playing a 5 seed on a neutral,
right?
I'd be wary of that game. That wouldn't make me feel comfortable at all. But if I'm a 4 seed and I'm hosting the 5 seed at my place, well, all right. I feel much more comfortable with that. Here we go. I don't like chicken salad. Do you like chicken salad?
I do like chicken salad.
Have you seen, by the way, the viral guy going around who is eating raw chicken every day for lunch?
Raw chicken?
Yeah, maybe might be the most foul thing I've seen on the internet in a long time.
What the hell would it occur to you to even eat raw chicken for?
He's eating
Don't you
between
get the salmonella from that?
You can absolutely. Yes. He's eating raw chicken. It's like it's going everywhere on the internet. This guy every day for lunch is eating a raw chicken breast. Foul. Like absolutely disgusting. Like one of the worst things I've seen on the internet in a long time.
Like, what's the end goal in that?
Dying.
I'm gonna eat a raw chicken breast every day on the
to be famous. To be famous. I'm gonna eat every day.
How long?
Till I'm dead, because I'm gonna die of.
I'm gonna get the salmonella, and then I'm gonna be sick, and then I could get really sick. Like what?
Really sick. Really sick.
Like, if you ever had the food poisoning and it's not like, it's the worst thing in the world when you get that stomach thing.
But Nick, it very well might be the same guy. But eating a Costco hot dog for 10 straight days is not that bad. I saw a guy do it he did it for a week and he lost weight doing it. So like it's Costco hot dogs are good. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Costco. I'm a Costco mark.
Get a deal with the South Point. I'll go down there every day and eat a hot dog if they pay me to do it.
Hell yeah, a hot dog.
I love a hot dog. Is okay. I'll
yeah,
put
it's cooked.
On it.
It's cooked. It's cooked meat. It's not a raw chicken. Yeah, it's
makes
not.
me want to throw up right now.
It's a fair point, JPC. Yeah, people ate Tide Pods. Are we surprised? No, we're not.
Good call. Good call, Claire Chick.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, no. All the views till you die. I agree with Rock. Yes, all the views until you die.
There's a guy eating Skyline chili every day. Jason,
that's cooked though. I mean, that's good. I mean, I
don't like the Skyline.
You don't like it
at all?
Oh, I had it once.
Come at me, people from Cincinnati. At Sports BK can sig. Skyline chili sucks.
It's
no good.
And someone has to tell me, is the chili in the airport the same as the chili? Because I had it in the airport. I had a layover in Cincinnati. And
Skyline chili.
Well, sometimes it's not like the real thing. People will say like, you had like the airport version.
This is breaking news. What do you mean? It's not the real thing. It's Skyline chili, but it's at the airport, so it's not the real thing.
I mean, have you ever gone to Legal Seafood before?
Legal?
Yeah. So legal seafood is like it's a Boston brand that's very popular. It's all over New England.
Okay.
But the version of it in the airport is not the version you get when you go to the restaurant. It's not nearly as good. It's just a quickie version of it. So people will say the Skyline chili at the airport. Someone's told me this. Like, you had Skyline chili? I'm like, yeah, at the airport. They're like, not the same.
I completely unaware of this. The
airport
got fake shit.
Not fake, but like you can't do this. You can't bring in the same way. Like it's cooked somewhere else and it gets transported in. So it's not as fresh. There's all these different things that go into it. I mean, you can't use a real knife. They give you plastic knives at the airport. Like, they don't even trust us.
Well, that
25 years after 9/11, we're still not trusted with actual silverware anymore. They don't trust us still. So
all the cans. Mikey Awesome, the wrench said, there goes that sponsorship in Cincinnati. Yeah, Skyline. I mean, I'll try it again. Maybe I had it only at the airport. I went to Cincinnati last year. My brother Doug, he eats it, but brother Doug eats everything.
I had it at the airport, and I remember going like, it's okay. I mean, I wasn't like, oh my God, like people were like, Skyline's the best thing. I was like, okay, let me try it. And I was like,
So like when you get this food, like here, if you get Skyline chili in Vegas, is that the real thing?
How do you get it in Vegas?
I swear I had Skyline chili somewhere here in Vegas.
Vegas? There's a space making.
Somebody brought it out, like opened up a joint that.
I mean, like when you go to the D, right, and they have the Coney Island dogs. If you're from New York and you go eat the Coney, it doesn't feel like you're eating.
Right,
Nathan. Sorry, or Nathan's hot, whatever it is at the D. You don't feel like you're eating a New York hot dog. You're eating a facsimile, a fake version of it.
Facsimile.
Get to that word. A fake version of it.
I don't know. I mean, I had a sausage and peppers in a million places, but that sausage and pepper sandwich outside of Fenway Park was,
What's a
I
cart, right?
mean,
I mean, the
damn,
cart,
bro. I was,
20 years of seasoning on that grill.
oh my Lord.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
I mean, even the kids were like,
This
we
is
went
different.
back for a second.
Yeah, it's
Like
different.
it was just a perfect night, man. We saw that Red Sox play the Royals. The Red Sox won. We had a rain
Nice.
delay. The game took 4.5 hours. We come outside, we're starving, and that guy gave us those things.
Is Goroff from Detroit? How does he know
Goroff.
that? How does he know the American Coney Island at the D is not that far off? Because that's what I'm talking about.
Goroff's a very knowledgeable historical dude. Like he knows things. Like we got one star. I'm trying to get him on the payroll best I can. The kid can play music.
He can.
You know, he's
his
player.
family's from Detroit. Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
Family's from Detroit.
Thank you.
Nice. Yes, Nathan's natural casings for hot dogs are delicious. I agree. Where are you on Chicago Italian beef?
We got to go to Chicago and have somebody explain it to me.
I have
like
it.
the real
I've had
way.
it. I've had it.
I've had it.
I've just got. I mean, it's
It's
good. It's really good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like I got to get the real stuff. I've been in Vegas eating Chicago beef.
Right. Have you gone? Have you watched The Bear at all? The show The Bear.
No.
Oh, you
I
should.
thought you meant Felica.
No. The show The Bear. It's on. It's about an Italian. It's about a restaurant that makes Italian beef in Chicago.
Oh,
It's really good. It's a really good show. But Chicago is. I don't do your hot dogs, okay? But Chicago beef. Yeah.
you don't do
like
you
the
don't
whole
do
what
what?
the way they do their hot dogs in Chicago. I don't mess with.
They put a lot of shit on the hot dogs in Chicago.
Look, I'm from Boston. Okay, we do one thing and one thing only. We put ketchup on our hot dogs.
You've done it.
You guys call us children. You think we're babies. Whatever. It's fine. That's what we do. That's all. We're from New England. That's what we do. So, my palate has expanded exponentially since I left New England. Our food is bland and boring. I 100%
Just like your city.
No, Boston's not bland and boring. We're the
Bland
opposite.
and boring. Just
We're
like
the opposite. Our food is bland and boring, but we're the opposite of bland and boring as a city. But our food is that way. And I used to fight it. You'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Until I started living and moving around the country, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're right! Wow, our food really is bland." But that's one way I do that. I'm a straight ketchup hot dog person. That's it. Nothing else. We're done. And that infuriates. From Chicago, I might as well be like, I'm defacing a public, statue by saying I do that.
You got to be careful.
Oh, they're so into it.
They treat the hot dog thing very serious. This Italian beef thing.
I mean,
very serious.
Kelly, our guy Kelly from Omaha. That's what he ran. He ran the Chicago Doghouse. That was his thing.
The Sausage King.
Sausage King of Omaha. Yes, that's what he ran. He ran a Chicago Doghouse.
My guy Iggy, who you met at the Omelet Cafe here, another Chicago guy. I'm gonna have to have him on the show again. We're gonna have to. We got to do a local show. We're gonna go there. We're gonna do a BVB lunch meetup, and we're gonna do that there.
I have so many things.
Chicago. He just opened a pizza place.
I can't wait for that. I'm so hungry right now. I'm in the point where I just want to eat everything, and I can't eat anything. That like last night was hard, man. I was so hungry. I'm so hungry right now. I want to eat everything.
I'm going there for lunch after the doctor's
you.
appointment. I just decided. I'm going to Iggy's pizza joint for lunch or the Omelet Cafe. One of the two.
Let's roll through some games here before you have to go to the doctor. So we have 25 minutes left before you got to get out of here. Duke is down to 6.5 tonight at Miami.
After yesterday, you want to lay points on the road?
Absolutely not. And I'm not.
No chance.
I got 7 last night.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah. Duke, this should be a win. And I know there's an injury for Miami. I don't really care. Miami has sucked the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, really.
Yeah.
They are hanging on by a thread. They need a win so desperately over a team like Duke. And we've seen Duke blow games before. So it's back to 7. Okay. Thanks, Butchie. Back to 7. Okay. It was 6. Duke by 4. I agree. That's what KenPom has it as. It's going to be a lower scoring game. Or maybe I have it at 6. I can't remember. One of these games I have it at 4. But Your team, Penn State. You guys dismissed your best scorer over the weekend.
What
Penn
happened?
State. I forget the whole story.
I didn't see it.
But no, that's why the number is 7.5 now.
Another one. You want to lay points on the road?
I would in this game, but I'm not going to. I think Illinois does kill Penn State tonight, but I'm not going to lay it.
Right.
Home game. Alabama's laying 8.5 against Florida. This number's too heavy. This is Bama wins the game, but I can't lay 8.5.
Florida can't score, keep up with this team, can they? This is
they can,
174.
Well, they can score.
I said this total's going to be high. I didn't even look.
Bet the under. Bet under.
Bet under?
Too high. Yeah, it's too high. But Florida can score. Florida can run and score. They're an over team. Alabama's an over team, but Alabama's defensively.
Hold on. Time out. Penn State's playing a game at Rec Hall. They're not playing in the big building. They're playing in the little building that I went to the games in. The little bandbox, 6,500 people, madhouse screaming. Is that right, Jay Dow? Jay Park? They're playing at Rec Hall? Oh, my goodness. Outright is right. They may win. That game's going under. You want to talk about loud? That place resonated. My ears are still ringing from when the Fab Four came in 28 years ago. 29.
Look at all the Penn State folks. They're all fired up.
Holy shit. I'm fired up now. Wow. That game's at 3:30? Oh, baby. Oh, my God. Listen, they ain't played a game in there in a long time. That place, oh, man. Oh, now you guys got me fired up. We got Penn State guys in the chat. I didn't know Jay Park. I didn't know Nicky Caramello. Now I know. Penn State plus the points. Done. Okay. This one, you like under? This total's 174, Pete Ralt.
Bama's defensive
team total got to be over. They may put up a hunch.
They could, and they have. I mean, that's not out of the realm. I mean, if Bama, they're like the Jays. I mean, if they hit their threes, Bama could score. Name it. I mean, Bama scored 100 their last game, 109 the game before that, 81, 99, 109, 101, 111, 102, 102, 105. So they've scored 100 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They scored 99 against Oregon. 6, 7, 8 times they've scored. If you include 99, 9 times they've had.
What's their team total?
99 points or higher for Alabama.
What's their team total?
Let's find out. I'm going to guess their team total for this game is going to be
89.5.
No, 93.5.
Ooh.
Let's see. Where's Alabama team total?
8-point spread, 174 total. 92, 84, 92.
Team props. Let's see. Bama 92.5. Ooh, I was close.
Right.
Close.
Yikes. Over the. Oh, they're going to put up a hunch.
Probably. I mean, it's possible. So maybe that's the way you want to play that game and go ahead and play Alabama team total over 92.5. Dayton laying 2 on the road at George Mason. This is screaming dog.
Oh, man. Are we going to get Casey Clark mad at us?
Maybe.
Is he a Dayton guy?
3-point win for Dayton, according to KenPom at George Mason. George Mason on the year, 17-8, 6-6 in the A10.
Dayton. I like Dayton.
Okay.
I'm going to lay it on the road with Dayton.
I stayed away.
I ain't a fan of Dayton, George Mason. I don't like those numbers.
Okay.
It's early start. We got to look at stuff. Guess what I'm doing at lunchtime? Looking at all this basketball. I'll be firing on all this basketball.
Kentucky laying 6.5. It was 7. Now it's 6.5 at LSU.
Is this the dreaded letdown spot?
100%.
After their last win?
100%. This is the exact same handicap as UConn.
Damn it.
They went on the road to Auburn and whacked them. And now they're on the road. And LSU is desperate. They absolutely have to have it.
6 on the road now.
Down to 6? Okay. Or 7.
Hit refresh at 6. I don't know. I don't know. LSU's not very good, are they?
Home team. Give me LSU. Again, I don't understand. I mean, not that KenPom is like the end all be all, but KenPom has this as a 4-point win, 84-80.
Yeah.
Number 7 at one point.
Heard the guys on ESPN Sports Center talking about KenPom. It's pretty impressive.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Good for KenPom.
To KenPom. Listen, everybody's watching the show. It's fine. We're teaching everybody. I don't mind. I don't mind. Just say thank you. When I see you, at least say thank you.
Right. And then finally for college basketball, how about this number? New Mexico's laying 7 against CSU. 7.
Oh,
this number seems gigantic to me. This is a 4-point win for New Mexico, but I don't want to take points on the road.
What time's that game start? Let's see.
Late.
New Mexico, Colorado State, 7:00 start.
Our time.
Pacific, 10:00 Eastern. 7.
Yeah. KenPom has it as a 4-point win for New Mexico. They're coming off of a loss on the road. It fits my trend if they were a dog, but they're not. They're home. They're laying 7. I was like, I want to bet New Mexico, but yikes. 7 is heavy.
Make you play a premium. Yeah, that's a premium price right there, son. Not crazy about it. Not crazy about laying it. I think the number's excellent. I mean, I don't know. We got hoop heads in here right now. Put up a poll before we get out of here. Put up a poll. We got 17 minutes left in the show. So put up a poll vote.
Make me
work here. You laying 7 or taking 7? I think more people will take.
Probably
more people will take.
I mean, I think it's the better play. It's just expensive. I think you get beat by free throws at the end.
We got to get Ciramello. He got to come out. We got to meet this kid. He's in here every day. He's giving us ideas. Associate producer Nicky Ciramello.
Mm-hmm.
Let Gorov show him around town. Hang out. Great. Gorov, we're going to need you to picking up people, dropping them off, all this other stuff. Driver for the weekend. I think we can get that arranged. I don't know. But it's going to be so much fun. Show at Resorts World Thursday and Friday. Everything we talked about.
Yeah,
bringing people here.
Jada, I'm with you right there. look, don't quit your job, Nikki.
Hold on, Nikki. Hold on. We gotta, Nikki. We're working on getting stuff. Don't quit no jobs yet.
Yeah, don't do that.
Can't pay you nothing yet, Nikki.
Yeah,
please relax.
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Look, we got people. I mean, we got security force.
We do. Absolutely. Yeah, we got that for sure.
Things happening.
Let's go to hockey. Bruins Oilers tonight.
Good game.
Great game. Bruins
game.
Bruins are scuffling big time though. I'm worried.
Are you saving that Raider story for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Please, that's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, we'll do the Raider story tomorrow.
That one for tomorrow.
Running out of time.
Right. Oh, we're good. Good hockey game tonight, P-Roll. Number's a little short, no?
Yeah, I think it is. I like Edmonton at 140. I do.
No question.
Yeah, I like the Oilers.
But the Bees did find a way to win that last home game.
On the 9th shootout round. I mean,
that's fine. It's a win as a win. But this number's coming down. They're playing the Bruins.
Numbers play, just a value play. Take Boston at plus. Like you don't get them at plus very often. This much.
Correct. It's like you've done this before. You just talked it right to. That's exactly what's going on. The book does that too. 140
down to 2025. That's true. It's dropped that much.
20 and 25. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bottom dropped out of that number.
That's so. Somebody ain't playing goal for Edmonton, right?
Skinner. What do you mean?
Is it Skinner?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That's what
okay.
I was looking at last night. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the projected starters, but it's Skinner expected, Allmark expected.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not backups for Edmonton in that.
You don't get the Bruins at a plus price. You
Fine.
said it right there. That's a very good handicap. So good luck if you like the Bruins. Wow, look at that. Minus 120. That's the lowest number in the world right now. Look at that.
Sharp money on the Bruins tonight.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Yeah. Only trip in. Listen, Bruins got that Alberta swing. They got
coming up. Yep.
They got Vancouver, Calgary, and then Seattle. Little 4-game road trip. Of the 4, how many did they win, P-Roll?
2.
Good number. 2 under minus 120. Because they beat Calgary, most likely.
Most likely. I mean,
but the other 3 could be,
yeah. No, I mean, Bruins aren't playing well. I mean, they're in a, I told you when I watched that press conference, I was really surprised at just the way that the Bruins coaching staff was just sort of like, look, it's February. Like, as long as we play the way I want us to play, the outcome doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, our style of play is going to win in the long term. So if we lose, 4 or 5 games in a row, so what? It was just like, holy shit. Okay. Like, interesting. It's very honest. Like, telling the NHL our season's too long and, we're just going to play our style of hockey. And if we play our style of hockey, I'm okay.
Right.
All right. Like, you didn't have a good homestand, but so we'll see how that goes down. But yeah, I like Edmonton tonight, but we'll see. Toronto laying $2 at Arizona tonight.
If Fed has so much going on, this would be one. We got to go to Arizona, period. I mean, for the final
to watch hockey. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Just to see it so we can understand it better for the handicap. And, because how in the hell does Toronto go in there? I'm guessing there's probably going to be a lot of Maple Leaf fans there. This is an opportunity for them to see.
Tougher ticket, though.
Down there.
It's not like Vegas. Like 5,000 tickets. It's harder seat to get.
Arizona's playing as bad as any team in hockey right now.
Right.
Game's going over. Sonic is there. We got to go see Sonic for sure. I know. 100%. We got people in Arizona. We got people everywhere. I can't wait to take the show on the road and say we're coming to see who comes out and have lunch and hang out and all this other stuff, making this, thing fun because we know we can go somewhere and feel like we got guys, boots on the ground, friends, cousins, everybody. It's great. Cuz, what's up, cuz? Hey, home slice. BBB Brigade. You wearing a hat? I got a hat. Get a hat. Let's go.
Right. This is our gambling portion of the show. Census survey comes out that New York generated 37% of all U.S. sports betting tax revenue in 2023.
Man.
They took 37 cents out of every dollar raised by local governments went to New York. Do you think there's some states who are kicking themselves right now for what they did? Or are they cool with the tax rate where it is?
Meaning they should have asked for a higher percentage.
Yeah, higher tax rate.
That's what the state that's what you mean they're kicking themselves for? What would the states be kicking themselves for?
Because their tax rate's too low compared to what New York has.
There's more people in New York. It's hard to it's like comparing us to Pat, which everybody keeps doing. It's very hard because they're in a different league. They have more people. They should be generating. I don't think the number is that surprising. A third of the tax revenue from sports betting is from the biggest state in the country.
With the highest
tax rate. They have the biggest tax rate too.
Right.
You think I was upset that they got sports betting?
No. But what about Ohio? What about Ohio? What about Illinois? What about Michigan?
Well, Illinois saw it. Their tax rate's higher, and they got big money for licensing fees. I mean,
Pennsylvania got big money at the top. Pennsylvania they went a different route. They wanted the money up front. They wanted $10 million for a license.
No, but Pennsylvania's 37% with the taxes. Pennsylvania did it really right.
Yep.
Massachusetts, they're finding out a lot of things. Did you see the gaming commission person is stepping down?
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that.
Yeah.
That she resigned.
Folks are leaving
right
Massachusetts because maybe it's not all it's advertised to be.
Well, it is, but you can't compete.
That's the problem, So, yeah, that's an interesting headline. I don't think anybody's there's somebody kicking themselves. They would have done some things different, 100%. I don't know if the tax rate would be one.
What about Jersey? Do you think Jersey wants a higher tax rate if their neighbor, or do they like the spillover coming from New York to Jersey? Because the average player doesn't give a crap. They don't care what you're paying for a tax rate.
Did we do the story yesterday on New Jersey's parlay handle?
Yep.
I think New Jersey's just fine. I think New Jersey's just fine.
Yeah,
and I think the companies are really fine that are in both. I can tell you that. Because we can get the
go back and forth
parlay handle down there, and we could get the straight bet and other stuff handled there. That's pretty easy. And a limo ride, if you live in New York to New Jersey, pretty easy.
Easier to take the path than it is to take a limo. It's fast. It's faster.
But the people that are betting the amounts of money, they probably take limos. Probably not.
I don't know. Well, I've seen rich people on the path. It's a hell of a lot faster. Tunnels suck. Tunnels can be a pain in the ass.
Listen, you say a lot of crazy shit sometimes, but you are right. Tunnels suck there.
It's the worst. You get stuck for
tunnels and bridges. That George Washington Bridge made me never want to drive again.
How much is that now? Is it like $22? What is it? It's like I remember going over going, this is actually a toll. It's like $17, $18. It's like
20 something now.
Right. Yeah, it's like $22, right? To go over it.
I don't know. When you rent a car now, you get that thing on your windshield. Then you get a bill later, and you're like, what is this? This costs more. This bill, when we went back east and we did those drives, the bill for the tolls and the bridges cost more than it cost me to rent the car for a week.
Yeah.
I was like, I had no idea that everything costs this much. Like, it's a lot. You know why people are angry in the Northeast.
I've told you.
Driving, sitting in traffic, not going nowhere.
Bad weather.
Horns honking and paying for it.
Paying for it. Bad weather. Grumpy people.
Sucks.
Too many people. Oh, it's the worst.
Terrible.
Time for better to All right. I'm going with Miami. I got a worse number than what's up right now. You can get a better number than I. I'm taking 5.5.
Well,
Miami against Duke.
There's too many questions here. I'll ride with the blue blood, all that other crap. You're probably right, but I'd say book it. I'm gonna let you take the points. Favorite's got to win one of these times, maybe.
LSU +7.
Oh, run out. Chalky.
You want to lay it?
This is at Alabama, right?
No, this is LSU's against Kentucky. Kentucky's at
LSU, Kentucky. Or home. Oh,
LSU's,
bet this. Take the points.
+7. And then
not saying outright win, but maybe, but we're taking the points.
I think it's Kentucky by 3 or 4. I think Kentucky wins the game, but LSU LSU is going to play their asses off tonight. They have to have it. And I do think Kentucky has a letdown after what they did to Auburn last week or the last game. They destroyed Auburn over the weekend. Big spot. This is it for LSU. Like they've got to. And then finally, I like Xavier Lane 5 against Providence. There's some 4.5s out there, but
sneaky.
I'm taking the home team. Backs against the wall. They beat Providence by 20 earlier this year, and now they're at home. That was on the road. Now they're at home. Providence is really inconsistent, and Xavier with Sean Miller, like they have to win this game. They play Marquette next week in the next game this weekend. They play 2 of the last 5 games of the year against Marquette.
Ooh.
Like if they want to make the tournament, it's go time for them right now.
Xavier at home against Providence, 5 and 150.5. Lay it. If you got to play it, I think lay it. Like Teddy covers, let's say. So I'm playing, I'm laying. Yeah, bet it.
I like Xavier tonight to win and to cover against Providence.
Yes.
No super chats today because of the time. I know you guys are all kind of on a.
The boys showed up though. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys all
showing up early. Start. We got this out of the way.
I can't wait. So many people were gonna click on at 11 o'clock and go, wait, there's already a show done. Like this is crazy.
Told them yesterday.
Oh yeah, but people don't realize that they'll be clicking on going, oh wait, the show started already, so they can watch.
Tweeted it at Sports Talk Matt.
Yep.
I tweeted it at Sports B Cake and Sig, and we tweeted it at the show at Boston versus the Book. Listen, I know a lot of people aren't on the X or not on the X. That's how we communicate with a lot of people. We've got over 50,000 followers just with those 3 accounts right there. Reach out, DM the show at Boston versus the Book. Get your hat for the BVB weekend in Vegas, March Madness. We're gonna have to officially call it something. I can't wait to see what they come up with. They're doing stuff for us. I mean, E did that big poster.
I did.
Like,
I'm still making that into a t-shirt.
We have to.
I'm still doing that.
We have to. I got
the
Butch. He texted me, said, I'm working on a t-shirt deal for you guys right now. T-shirts and hoodies. Listen,
wow.
I can get it done.
Get it done.
Great.
Get it done.
Yeah.
100%.
Let's get it done. We want to hand that stuff out at the giveaway. Have everybody show up in gear. Would be a dream.
Favorite thing about today. We got 3 minutes to roll, so you got to get out of here.
Favorite thing about today. Early start on the show. Yes. But yesterday it rained the whole day. It rained a lot.
Rain.
Messed everything up. Everybody was crying, complaining, bitching in this house. We had a lot of ocean of estrogen issues yesterday. I wake up this morning and get told, peace, see you later. I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. All I want to know is who's taking the kid to school. That's all I want to know. Favorite thing about today is that Kendall got to school.
Awesome.
And I was not involved. Rest of the day, smooth sailing, baby. We got doctor's appointment. I gotta go see this guy. He's crazy, but hopefully everything goes good. Lunch with Iggy. Maybe have some Chicago beef. I'm not having that thick style pizza. I get the thin stuff. And then we got tonight on the show. I love the early start. It helped. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Good job, P-Roll.
Fun stuff. Real quick, 2 things. Well, this is not my favorite thing about today, but Justin Fields just was interviewed on a podcast.
Yeah.
And he was asked, why did he unfollow the Bears? He confirmed it, saying, I'm just not trying to have football on my timeline. It's either keep Fields or draft Caleb. I just want it to be over. The poor kid is like, he's just like, I'm done with all of you. Stop talking about me. Just where am I playing football next year? That's it. Does someone tell me?
I could relate though.
Sucks. I agree.
It's you have to. I mean, when it's stuff just keeps appearing in your feed, it's like enough.
Yeah. So, my favorite thing about today is the fact that we got to announce that the shows are happening, and I'm already on a massive countdown in my head for the live shows on March 21st and 22nd, live at Resorts World from the Red Tail Lounge, where we're going to be set up, propped up, and watching games. The tournament's going to be so fun this year. And hope to see all you guys. Again, we don't have the codes yet, but you can shop for airfare now. You can start looking for flights if you want to come on in or you're going to drive in. It is happening. We're going to be there live the first 2 days of the tournament, Thursday and Friday, and then hanging out Saturday. It's going to be our second ever BVB weekend here in Las Vegas at Resorts World coming up. So we hope to see all of you guys. Easily my favorite thing about today is the ability to tell you guys and invite you, and we can't wait to see all of you.
We're gonna have to call it something, P-Roll.
BVB weekend.
No, I know, but like something with the madness or whatever. Like we're gonna have.
We can't call it March Madness because that's trademark. So
right,
you can call it BVB Madness if you want. I mean that's allowed, but everyone calls it that.
BVB Bash Brigade, something.
Brigade.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. We got time to
We'll figure it out.
21st, 22nd, March, Resorts World, live shows. Come see us.
Dave's going to his doc appointment. We're back tomorrow, normal time for you guys.
Yes.
Thank you. We're on Sports Grid. Thank you. It's all one show, no bonus time. We apologize. Back tomorrow. We'll do bonus time. Dave, Matt, back on a Thursday tomorrow for BVB.
We are Penn State at Rec Hall. Let's go.
They're going to lose.
Stop talking.